Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and tonight I'm here with something a little bit different. Instead of a review, this is more of an instructional video, and the reason I'm doing this is about 6 weeks ago I did a video on the Hifiman Sundara with Kennerton ECL01 earpads on it. And after my video in the comments, and I also posted it on the Headphone Experience on Facebook, and I had a few people ask me about changing the earpads on the Sundara. They are a little bit tricky, and suggested that I do a video on removing and installing earpads. So that's exactly what this is. So I do have the Hifiman Sundara here with me. And it currently has the Kennerton earpads on it, the lambskin leather, which I personally think is a very large improvement over the stock earpads. I think it not only sounds better, but much more comfortable. And in my opinion, Hifiman kind of skimps on the earpads, and they just don't hold up that long. I've had the Hifiman HE500 for about almost 7.5 years now, I think, and the HE560 for about 3 years, and the Sundara now for about 2 years. And it's been my experience that the stock earpads start falling apart after a couple of years. So anyway, what I wanted to show you, and basically the earpads on the Sundara, they come off and mount pretty much exactly the same way as they did on the older headphones, the HE500, the HE560, the HE400, the 400i. There was several headphones that all use the same system, which is basically a plastic ring with 4 tabs on it. And this here is one of the stock earpads that came off of the Sundara. And I used different rings for the Kennerton earpads because back when I got the HE500, it came with 2 sets of earpads, and both of those have fallen apart over the years. So I had an extra set of rings laying around. If you don't, well, I'll show you how it is. Okay, this is the stock earpad off of the Sundara, and as you can see on the back, it uses a plastic ring, and it has 4 tabs on it, and that's what holds it on. Okay, the Sundara, unlike, well, I think the others were the same way, the earpad is actually glued to this ring. So it wraps around the edge of the ring, and then it's glued all the way around. So to change the earpads, you're going to have to do one of 2 things. You're either going to have to pull this off, which comes off pretty easy, but you can't put it back on. You're going to lose your stock earpad. Or you can order extra rings from Hifiman, which I believe you still can, and the last I checked they were about $10 for a set. So anyway, like I said, I had an extra set of rings from my Hifiman HE500, so I just left these intact. But this is the stock earpad. Okay, to get these off, basically what you have to do is get that little tab out of the notch on the headphone. And it's a little bit tricky. They came off of the older headphones real easy, but I had the Sundara for like 2 years before I ever pulled the earpads off because it just didn't seem to want to come off, and I was afraid I was going to break something, either break the headphone or tear up the earpad, because I didn't know for sure how they came off. If I had known that they came off the same way as the older headphones, I would have had them off a long time ago. But for some reason, they're a little bit harder to get off on the Sundara, so I think people are kind of hesitant and kind of afraid to try to pull them off, and therefore, you know, I've had a few people ask me to do a video showing how to do this. So what I'm going to show you is I've got the Sundara here with the Kennerton earpads, and basically, I'll try to roll forward here so you can see this. Basically, the best way I found to get them off is you need to reach inside with your finger, hook your finger inside, and kind of push in on the outside edge at the same time. And as soon as you hear one of the clips snap off, the others will come off pretty easy and you can get it off. And you can see here that I've got the Kennerton pads on here, and I'm using the ring, which actually came off the HE500, and these Kennerton pads just wrap around it. They don't need to be glued. They'll hold themselves on. And so you can take these on and off as many times as you want. But basically, any ear pad, I don't know all the specific brands, what type of system they use, but any ear pad that uses this lip, it needs to be 105 millimeters in diameter and round. But other than that, if it uses this same type of lip to wrap around, you can use it with the Hifiman ring. Okay, when you change these, some ear pads are directional. The Kennertons are tapered. They're thicker on the back and thinner on the front. So if that's the case, if you're using an ear pad that is directional, you need to line it up right on the ring, because you can't turn the ring once it's on the headphone, because it's these little tabs slip into notches on it. And let me see if I can show you that. You can probably see here there are little notches around here that they have to slip into. So what you have to do is, if your pad is directional and you want the thinnest part at the front, on the Kennertons they have a seam there at the thinnest point. So what you need to do is line that seam, that thinnest part of the pad, up with one of the tabs. And then when you put these back on, you want to make sure that you have it facing the right direction. So I tried to show you here again. When you put these on, the front of this would be where my thumb's at, and so I want to take the thinnest part here and put that tab in first up at the front. Then you can work the top tab in, and you can work the bottom tab in, and you will probably have to try this a few times because it's a little tricky. Okay, I think I have 3 tabs in. It's the 4th tab that is the hard one to get in. And I did find a secret for getting that in. You can either try to bend the pad in and try to work that tab in around the back, or what I found works the best for me is if I take a credit card, and if you push in underneath the pad on that tab and push in on it at the same time, you can get that to hook. And what was extremely tricky to do without the credit card becomes very easy. And now you can see both pads are lined up the same. You've got your tapers the right way. Easy to do. Once you know how to do it, it's not a problem at all. So anyway, I just wanted to put this out there because I know the Sundara is a very popular headphone. And I know that a lot of people are interested in swapping pads, especially if it's a couple of years old and your pads are starting to fall apart. And like I said, all you need is basically any ear pad that's 105 millimeters in diameter and has a wraparound on it, and you can use your plastic ring off your stock pads, or you can get extra plastic rings from Hifiman. And it's, once you know what you're doing, they're actually really easy to get on and off. And I'm hoping this helps some people out, because I think a lot of people are afraid to just, start yanking on it, and are afraid they're either going to tear up their ear pads or, maybe even break their headphone. And so I just wanted to show you how easy this is to do. And, now you can start swapping ear pads, and they can definitely change the sound. And they can definitely make it more comfortable, because like I said, in my opinion, Hifiman, not so much on their more expensive headphones, but on their cheaper headphones, I do think they kind of skimp and the quality isn't there. And like I said, they're probably going to fall apart within a couple of years if you're using them a lot. And these Kennerton pads, like I said, I really like them, and I think it's a huge improvement. So I'm hoping this video helped somebody, and if it did, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you are all welcome to join us at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. We're up to about 9,500 members. Anyway, I just want to say thanks for watching my video.